Bags, show me the money.
Wait, I'm so
Push the
sad.
fucking button.
I don't even have our pro. All right, Daddy's doing a show right now. Oh, hello.
Hi.
Welcome to Mikasa.
Well, hello, Moneybags. How are you?
Yes, it's me, Mr. Moneybags. Welcome to.
I see you have a new house.
Yeah, I'm going to learn how to play piano. I bought the baby grand. I don't know what the hell I bought it for. It was, it was there. I had a few extra bucks. Yeah, go ahead and bring it to the house.
So welcome, everybody. It's Wednesday night. For those of you that forgot, I only did one promo this week, but Mike and I are back tonight. We're doing some chopping it up. Are You Shitting Me? TMI the podcast, YouTube and Facebook. And I'm Ron here in Las Vegas, Nevada. And I have with me always...
I'm Mike in Amarillo, Texas.
That's what Amarillo looks like right there, folks. Right behind him.
There you go. And apparently we're also floating around in space too. That's kind of fun.
I see that.
Hey,
I'm feeling a little dizzy.
All right. So I told Ron I have no idea what we're doing tonight. You did a promo. You said you only did one this week.
But Mike, those have been our best shows pretty much. You've
done one promo more than I did.
Well, it's because you're a slacker. Well, you were busy remodeling. I see that.
Yeah, I'm busy remodeling. That's it. If you really knew what I've been up to the last few days, I've had a shitty couple of days, and I mean that literally because the sewer line backed up on us a couple of days ago, and what's really sad and funny about it is I have a couple of big. I don't know, little brother, if you know what they are, but they're fruitless mulberry trees. They're big trees. And I have two of them in the backyard. And because it's been so freaking dry and hot here, the root system, clearly it's
looking for water.
Looking for water, man. So Carolyn and I earlier in the week, we noticed everything's backing up. You flush a toilet and in the kitchen sink you hear... I'm going, oh, crap. So normally we can get stuff at Home Depot. It comes in a black bottle and you pour it down, one of the drains, and it usually just cleans everything out. Well, that weren't working. And so after a couple of days of trying to fight it lazily with chemical, a few years ago, a friend of mine, Todd, bought a giant industrial sewer snake. So check this out. So Monday, after my radio show, I close it, and at the end, I'm yelling out, I get to go home and play with a sewer snake. I get people that call and text me right after the show. What the hell are you talking about?
What the fuck is this? Where did you take a big poop?
Well, this is after a big old serious, show of local politics, right? And so I yell out, I get to go home and play with a sewer snake. And so I did. I came home and dragged that dang thing out of the shop. And it was cool because, and again, Ronnie knows this. I am not Mr. Fix-It, but I know enough to make me dangerous. So I've done this a couple of times, but
I'm going to cut off a finger like nobody's business.
I can do that pretty good. But I pulled the clean outs off out of the backyard. And as soon as I saw water near the top. So I thought, well, apparently it's not even from the house to here. It's from here out to the alley.
Yeah.
And there is no greater joy and no greater sound than to get that thing down in there. And all of a sudden you hear this, the water just lets go. You hit something and it goes down immediately and starts to drain. I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it. It's like, climax, Nirvana, I'm there. Oh, I need a cigarette. Boy, howdy, I need a cigarette. No, it was pretty awesome. So that's been my couple of days. But and so for the next day, I'm at the radio station, right? As I'm sitting at my desk, writing and doing whatever I do, I start to smell. I go, and I realize, man, I stink. I really stink. I think it was my shoes and my pants. I wore the same shoes and pants that I was out cleaning the yard with that day. So yeah. So there you go. There's a little bit. See, it is after all called TMI, and
Yeah.
there's a little TMI of old Unky Mike.
TMI on our podcast does not stand for too much information. It stands for Thero Martinez information. Just so we're all clear.
Yeah, there you go.
So I'm going to step back and on a more serious note. I want to talk about, and I hope she doesn't take offense to it, our sweet cousin Nicole and her battle against cancer. I was reading her report on Facebook today, and what a trooper.
Amanda.
Oh, Amanda. I'm sorry. I wrote Nicole. Yeah. Amanda. I'm sorry. I wrote the wrong one. But but either way, I mean, what a trooper. I mean, just
Did you read?
I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it damn near brought me to tears, man. It was just what a way to take on and battle something like that with such grace.
I'm telling you, I'll be honest with you. I need to call her anyway, but I wasn't too sure about, I don't know about putting myself out there like that. But with this latest installment of her update, if you will, I felt the same way. It's emotional. The way that it's written is beautiful. And after I read this one, I just thought, wow. I'm always telling, like, speaking of cousins, always telling Roger, keep inspiring. Keep sharing the story of your amputation, and then keep inspiring. How inspiring is what we read today that Amanda put up?
Oh man, and Mike, for those of that don't know, when we've dealt with cancer a lot in our family.
Yeah, cancer's in the family.
We lost our Aunt Linda to cancer. We lost our dad to cancer. I lost my biological father to cancer. My wife has lost her stepdad and her aunt to cancer. I mean, it's a continuous thing. And so for this young soul to write what she wrote, and I think even Carolyn pointed out the term she used was, I'm feeling all the feels, and I'm going to tear up right now because it's just I'm like how eloquent can you be when something's fucking eating at you?
And
literally.
And Sherry, I didn't read all of Sherry's, but hers started off with, when you feel the feels. And she just went off into it. And I just thought, this is awesome. People need to read this thing. I'm telling you, if you're tuning in, there's nobody, we're talking to nobody right now.
Who cares? They'll join you eventually.
If you're watching this later, do yourself a favor. Amanda may club me for this one, but it's Amanda Schaff Stout. Go find her. Find what she wrote and tell Ronnie and I that you are not moved or inspired by it.
Or not brought to tears when you're reading it. Because I'm sorry. I don't think if I was dealing with it, I don't think I would have the poise and the grace that she had in what she was writing. I don't even think, we'll cheer this up in a minute, folks. Trust me.
Yeah.
But like when Dad was passing, I was there when I took him to one of his last appointments, and the doctor came out and flat out said, your dad's going to die, period. Yeah. And I just remember sitting there thinking, shit, but I'm going to ask you, Mike, I know your answer already, but did this man complain at all? Mm-hmm. One bit about anything?
Nope. I had him in front of my attorney 2 days before he passed. And then I had to go see Randy again. And this is the attorney in Colorado Springs. I had to reach out to them for something else a couple of days after Daddy passed. And Randy asked, he says, hey, by the way, how's your dad? I said, Randy, he's gone. He passed away. And Randy, I telling you, was going to cry. We sat in his conference room, and he said, wait a minute. The same guy that was just sitting right there 2 days ago, I said, Randy, he was in god awful pain. He was dying. But he knew he had to come and get this stuff taken care of. Amanda, I mean, look, I'm not jinxing our cousin. I'm just telling you, we have strong people in our family and in our bloodline, and Amanda is one of them. And again, I'm telling you, if you will go find her again, it's Amanda Schaaf Stout, and I'll deal with the consequences of me sharing that. But read her latest post about her journey,
Absolutely.
and try not to emote or get goosebumps. And it's just freaking inspiring.
One of the last doctor's appointments I took Dad to, and we had already known at this time, Dad had pancreatic cancer, so the percentage of making it is like 0.05% of living through this. And by the time he was diagnosed, he was already in stage 4. Yeah. So I remember going to the doctor, and the doctor, I will never forget these words. He goes, "Your dad denied any chemo, any shots, anything." He goes, "Probably the toughest son of a bitch I've ever talked to."
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, to go through that, and Dad was not a large man of stature. He was maybe 5'8" at best, maybe 150 pounds at his best, you know, but carried himself like an 8 foot tall, 300-pound gorilla.
Oh yeah.
And so I mean, it's things like that. And then to read Amanda stuff, I'm like, good Lord, man, how do you do it? I don't know if I could find this. I don't know if I could find the strength. I really don't.
I can. That's what I'm telling you. I'm going to be the first to admit, and look, I'm going to tell it like it is. When it comes to that kind of stuff, I'm a pussy. I don't mind telling you that. And so when you read things like what Amanda wrote, I just think, wow, how strong are you? Because I don't know that I can do what you're doing.
Amen. Amen. And Matt, I agree, man. Just it's been a rampant beast in our family for way too long. Matter of fact, my wife and I carry so much cancer insurance, we could probably afford a small condo on the side for what we pay, because cancer is deep in our family and it's way deep in her family, and it's like there's no getting around it.
Yeah.
No getting around it. So, Matt, that being said, man, how are you, brother? Good to see you on here. At least we have one person we're talking to. I'm sure there'll be other ones that'll join us.
We can always count on Matt being here.
Well, I was talking to Jack the other day, and Jack was like, "Yeah, I've been working overnights up in Montana. He's been up in Kalispell the last couple of times. He's like, so I missed the last couple of shows. I'm like, dude, you have to watch. You have to watch last week. 2 weeks ago, and then you have to catch next week." Just so it all kind of goes.
Because we have to have hobby horse jousting.
I was telling the guys at work, I'm like, I literally about pissed myself when my brother did that fucking video. I was just like, there is no way. Never in a million years expected that.
Well, that's why I love doing that kind of stuff. So
and Michelle was like, I could hear you in your studio just rolling laughing. I'm like, how could I not? It was fucking great.
And if you'll notice that the crawl at the bottom of the screen, Clip Clop and Sugar Cube need new shoes. Please see their GoFundMe page and give big. They need new shoes.
So during this week, I know we don't have anything on tap to talk about, but there was something I was watching on YouTube, Instagram, whatever. Great, nothing for yeah. Well, I'm glad we could be here for you, brother.
Yeah. It's a one-man show tonight. It's just for you, Matt.
It's all you, Matt. So we're going to talk about some of the things that we all had as kids, and I guarantee you, there's a couple. And Mike, I know you don't have any pictures, but you can picture these in your head.
Herpes?
Oh, yeah. Well. Yeah, different version, but yeah, those a little alarm clocks, little flat digital alarm clocks that everybody had one of them back in the day. Or remember the one that Dad had that had the little the time would flip.
Well, yeah, that's the one I remember having. Was the one?
Yeah, the little rolling one.
Yeah.
And then I saw an episode where somebody had a floral patterned couch.
Oh, good Lord. Hey, don't lose that thought, because there's something else I've seen. Speaking of floral covered couches, I saw this And I actually want to try it because I'm just curious. Does it really work? And somebody had taken like twin size bed sheets and covered the bench seat in their truck with them.
Get out of here.
No, I'm dead serious. And you know what? It actually looked okay. I thought I need to get an old truck now just to see if that works.
Well, speaking of old trucks, that's the other thing I had on my I have my little notes here that I write down. One of the big things on TikTok right now, or at least on my page, because of course it goes by what you look at, are all these pictures of a 3-in-a-tree gear shift, and how everybody's just talking about how, oh my god, what is this and what is that, and whoever drove one of these and blah blah blah. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, how fucking dumb are you?
I drove one. My father-in-law had one in a van, his delivery van.
Yeah, 3-in-a-tree was nothing back then. Matter of fact, you can take that a step further. Anything manual transmission nowadays is a mystery to anybody over the age of 40. Under the age of 40. Under manual transmission. I mean, do they even make manual transmissions anymore?
I don't even know that you can get a manual anymore. I think everything's automatic. If somebody can correct us on that, that'd be great. But I don't know the last time I saw a new car with a manual transmission.
I think the last time I drove one, and my wife hates me for this. This was probably, I'd say, about 10 years ago. We had bought a Nissan Altima, paid cash for it, beautiful car, and I happen to know the owner of the dealership, so I take it down for its first oil change, and Don and I are sitting talking, and Don owns a United Nissan here in town. And he's like, hey, Ron, I got this car over here. It's been sitting there for a while. Of course, as you know, Mike, when new cars sit there, they kind of run out of time, and then they start paying for them if they don't sell the car. So he's like, I'm going to make you a great deal on this car. So I took the Nissan Altima in for an oil change, and it came back a fire engine red 350Z.
Oh, my.
So, yeah, the wife was not happy about it, but I will say she did enjoy driving it.
Yeah, well, similar. This is how. Listen, hey, just so you know, this is going to prove Ronnie and I are brothers and that it runs in our blood. So I don't know how long ago it was. I think probably around 2000, somewhere in that ballpark. I take Carolyn down to. We just bought a little Chevy S10 pickup. All right, and Michael, we were moving Michael from go-karts into stock cars, and I knew I was going to need something to be able to haul a stock car with, and a hailstorm had just come through town, and so the same dealership that I bought the little S10 from was having a hail sale, and I thought I can go get a probably a new like C series truck, and so what? It's got some hail damage. I don't care. I'll take it. So we go down there, and Carolyn at the time we had a Cutlass, and it to this day, I think it's been her favorite car. So we go down, long story short, we go down to go look at trucks. About an hour and a half later, I'm driving out of there with a fire engine red 98 Pontiac Firebird.
Yep.
Didn't haul a stock car. We ended up buying an old beat up Suburban.
But it was close, damn it.
And here's the real kicker to that story. Is the station I was working for at the time was downtown. Carolyn was working for a bank that was about a block and a half away from the station. And so I told her, I said, well, the bird's yours. I'll drive the little truck. Well, so the next working day, I'm downtown, and I'm telling everybody I just bought this new Firebird. And well, let's go look at it. So, no, it's my wife's driving it. So I drove the S10 across the street to the bank, went inside, asked my wife for the keys of the bird. I don't think she ever drove it after that.
I was going to say, I don't recall her ever driving it.
Yeah, no, that's right, because we drove it out to Vegas one time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's what was wrong with
and my 350Z was also red with black leather interior.
I think Little Bandit had kind of a charcoal gray interior. But
it was red nonetheless.
It was red, baby.
I do remember. Yeah.
Got pulled over at one time when I was writing sports up for Pampa. On our way home, Carol and I were in the car, and we got pulled over by a state trooper. And of all the things in the world, I think he pulled us over to profile us, because he pulled us over because I had a license plate frame around the back of the car. And so that was the whole reason for pulling us over, right? Well, when he's got me in the, we're in our car and he's questioning me, and he must have asked 3 or 4 times. So is this your car? Yeah.
No, it's hers.
Your car. So, so he finally gets me out, right? And puts me in the passenger side of his cruiser. Well, I know I did nothing wrong.
Right.
And so I'm sitting in the cruiser and he's in the driver's seat, and I just start touching things. Hey, don't touch that.
What happens when I push this button?
No, it is funny because there was one, he's had a camera and I can see Carolyn in our car. So I'm trying to figure out how to, and he's finally says, "Oh, get out of the car. Get out of the car." So he had us pulled over for probably a half hour, 40 minutes. I ended up literally ripping the frame off the back, the license plate. And that was the whole reason he pulled us over.
Stop.
Irony is some years later, I'd actually own a business that made those frames. Yeah, right? So,
you're like, gotcha, bitch.
Yeah. I pull these off, sucker. Yeah. No.
Well, I got pulled over in my 350Z as well. And, for those of you that know the Hispanic side of my family, or some of them are not the most, we'll call law enforcement desirable people. And I got pulled over with my cousin one time. We're blowing down the 95, the 215, probably doing 100 plus miles an hour. And we hit the exit on the 95, which is like a 45 mile an hour. We're still doing 100 miles an hour. And I'm all of a sudden, whoop, I'm like, God dang it. So we pull over and I tell my cousin, I look at him like, don't say a fucking word. So he, of course, the highway patrol pulls up, walks up on the passenger side of the car. Now, mind you, at the time, I had my wife beater shirt on, my bandana on, my tattoos out all over, and we're talking, and I'm like, hey man, I'm sorry, dude. I'm a former badge myself. Just got a new car, just kind of test driving it out, blah blah blah. And he's like, well, you don't look like a badge. So I show him my old police officer's ID, and he's like, oh yeah. He goes, that looks like it. I'm like, okay, cool. So he's like, where'd you serve? What'd you do? Blah, blah. So we start talking about stuff, and oh yeah, I know this guy and that guy here in Vegas and this and whoop whoop. And he's like, okay, well, here's your license. Go ahead and slow down. My fucking cousin looks, he goes, ain't that a motherfucker? He goes, they would have had me pulled out and handcuffed over the hood of the car for going too fast. I said, why do you think I told you don't say a fucking thing? Just shut up and wait till it's over.
Right.
So yeah, so that was there was that one, and I the same story with my younger brother James in Colorado Springs happened a long time ago. I think it was probably the time my dad was passing away out there, and the same thing. Just it's like got pulled over at 2:00 in the morning. He's like, just shut your fucking mouth. Just let me talk.
I got this.
Do you ever watch that chick on TikTok? Shut the fuck up.
I don't do a lot of TikTok.
She's funny as hell, dude. My wife loves her, but she'll talk about, she's like, I don't know who started this whole women's lib thing and burn your bra and equal rights and this. Look what it's gotten to us now. I would have just told him to shut
Getting back to your pulled over stories, that's Carolyn was convinced that I was paying off police because I'd get pulled over. Nobody would ever ticket me. I don't think I've ever had a ticket.
I remember your 3000 GT. Yeah,
I've been pulled over a few times, but I have never had a ticket.
So I'll tell you my most recent one. I went to go meet my lovely wife at her office, and we were going to go, I don't know, dinner or somewhere. I don't remember, but she drives she's got a 30-pound foot, and she's in her little Chevy Traverse, and I'm in my Silverado behind her, and she comes barreling out of her office, takes off down the side road to get to the highway, and this motorcycle cop, whoop, whoop, pulls her over, and I stop about 20 yards behind. I'm just back there laughing. I'm chuckling, and I see him looking back at me. He looks back at me. And so finally I kind of, do my high beams a couple of times. I roll up a little closer and he comes to my side window and I'm like, hey man, that's my wife up there. I said, look, I'm a former badge myself. We start again talking about who, what, when, where, and why. And he goes back and tells my wife, next time I catch you speeding, I'm going to throw the book at you. He goes, I'm letting you go today out of respect for your husband. She's like, she calls me. She goes, I should just told him just to give you a fucking ticket. I don't want that hanging over my head. Fuck that.
I think Carol would do the same thing. Look, screw that shit. Just give me the ticket.
Yeah, right. Just give me, matter of fact, give me 2.
So Matt, I have to know, your 3000 GT, was it an SL or was it a VR4?
It was a GT, Gran Torino.
So, because I know Mitsubishi had 2. One had active aerodynamics on it, and I think the SL did not.
So, which is it, Matt? Were you aerodynamic or were you not?
The VR4 was a beast. I used one for a demo for a while. They were kind of fun.
Mike, do you remember way back in the day? I was living in Denver and you had driven up for something and you were in a little, I want to say a 5.0 liter Mustang. And I was in, I think like a Chevy Celebrity. It was like a straight scene from fucking, what was that movie with Tom Cruise? The race car movie.
Oh, you're thinking of, oh crap.
Thunder, lightning, something. Yeah. I don't know. But it was a straight scene from that because you took off in your 5.0 and I took off in my whatever. And your little 84 5.0 liter just smoked the shit out of me all the way back.
It was an 84, as a matter of fact. It was a little 84 Mustang with a 5.0 liter in it, and she was a sweet little ride.
It was an SL.
I'd be arrested if I had the VR4 because the VR4s were badass, man. I think, and Matt, weren't they all-wheel drives? They were wicked.
Oh, that's dangerous.
It was because Acura had, I forget what theirs was, but it was when I saw the first one, I thought, oh gosh, I need to go demo that rascal, and they're wicked awesome, man.
Free ride,
cool little rides. So, so what else you want to do?
So,
Ronnie and I had nothing planned tonight.
No, nothing planned. Fuck that. Who needs planned shit?
Nothing planned for tonight.
I will tell you a little story. I saw Mike backstage. I was talking to somebody at work. I think it was a client. We were talking about Amazon because I'm an Amazon freak, dude. I get shit delivered like daily here at my house. But he was asking about Amazon. He's like, oh, yeah, that's where I do all my shopping. I'm like, you do know how Amazon started, don't you? He goes, yeah, it was a shopping website. And I'm like, no, it was not a shopping website. So let me ask all our viewer. let me reach out to all our viewers.
Here, I'll just go ahead and text him right now. Hey, Matt.
Do you remember what Amazon originally started as? And I went do 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 do.
Stand by as we're asking our one podcast viewer tonight. The prize is nothing. Hang on, Ron. I think we have a winner.
Yes, Amazon Books. And I tried telling this dude, I'm like, yeah, it was books. He's like, no, it's a shopping network. I'm like, no, dumbass. It started off as a online bookstore. It was Amazon, the largest online bookstore, and now they sell everything from books to cars to houses to hell, probably people for all I know.
I'm shocked at the stuff I've been able to get on Amazon. God,
dude.
Now I try to buy local.
I'll tell you a secret.
I try to buy local as much as I can, but yeah, I'll admit I frequent Amazon.
I'm going to tell you a secret. When you find something on Amazon, don't always assume that's the best price. Because if you scroll down a little bit, it'll tell you who it's distributed by. And a lot of times you can go straight to that distributor and get it for a cheaper cost. Now, Now, where Amazon kills it is on delivery.
Well, and I tell you, you just nailed it, because Carolyn and I just today, the carpet in our house is old, and I can't afford to tear it all up and refloor the house right now. So we're trying to just hang on as best we can. When it's clean, it looks great. Well, now the problem is getting some spots clean. So her sister Diana in Washington sent her this image, and she says, look, I use this. When she was working for the school system up there, they said this is what we use in the schools. So it's a Procyon, Procyon.
I know it well.
And it's a soapless cleaner. Well, Carolyn finds it, right? And it's like, God, it's $40-something plus $18 for shipping. And so the total came to $60-something. And I said, hey, baby, let's wait and see if we can find it better someplace else. So you just nailed it, man. And now let me go hop around here a little bit. Well, Procyon, the site, the actual place, has the same exact thing. Yeah. And I got out of there for like $40.
Yeah.
I mean, shipping and everything. I thought, thank you. That'll work.
Yep. But again, it's a lot of that is, because I have a business account through Amazon, and that's where I save most of my money is on delivery fees. Because sometimes I'll order stuff for $10 or $12. Sometimes, $10 or $1,200, just kind of depends upon what I'm buying. Because I'll buy a lot of stuff for clients online because they can't seem to find it, and I'll find it online. But yeah, don't be fooled. You don't always get the best price when you go on there. Do your due diligence and go look at the distributor, because sometimes you get it for cheaper.
That's what we did.
You're a fart smeller.
Yeah. Kindle was the bomb. Well, in fact, speaking of Kindle, you can go get. I have 2 books on Kindle, and it's funny because every once in a while I get a message from them updating my sales, and it's kind of funny because I think, I forgot those are there. I'm making no real money off of it.
Well, Mike, what books are you talking about? Please do tell.
Well, I'm glad you asked, Ron. Because I have...
This was totally unscripted, by the way.
The first one is Let's Go Outside and Throw Shit at Each Other, which is a fun little story of pretty much about all of us growing up together. And then there's this one, Ron, that is From Pity to Prosperity. Never be bound by your circumstance, which maybe I need to read my own book.
I was just going to say, that I think that right there was a call sign for you. That was a, man, hold on. Let me move for the lightning strikes. Hold on.
Yeah. Well, you'd have to be here for the backstage conversation to know why we're laughing at that one.
Yeah. But you know what I'm talking about. So, I have my hard copy.
I know Matt's bought a couple of them. Steve Mann called me the other day because he's in the Pity to Prosperity book. And he let me know that he's added to my desire to be a recognized author. So he bought some books.
Am I in any of your books, Mike?
Well, if you'd read them, yes.
Oh.
You don't even have one, do you? You dumbass.
Who do you think read the whole damn thing before you launched it?
Yeah, well, I think in the whatever they call that, the dedication, I think you're actually in both of them.
Oh, I don't know. If I am, thank you. I appreciate it. Assalamu alaikum.
Whatever.
Assalamu alaikum, my brother.
And just like that, all the wind got sucked out of this podcast sales.
Mike's like, okay, and
tune in next week when Clip Clop and Podcast or Clip Clop and Sugar Cube make their return.
When they stomp the shit out of Ron.
Truly,
So those that missed last week, seriously, please go back and watch last week's episode. Oh my gosh.
I thought
if you want to, there's nothing funnier than watching my brother ride a hobby horse across a farmland. Are you
You'll have to tune in and watch.
I was like, I didn't know your brother could do that. I'm like, that's not my brother.
Hell, oh, man, I still got it, baby.
Yeah, the shirt looks good.
Yeah. Well,
I like that. And you're like, woo! Yeah.
Well, I don't want to let the entire cat out of the bag here.
My God.
I thought Clip Clop and Sugar Cube might make a return appearance tonight, but
They're sleeping.
I think they're still in the stable. Clip Clop's kind of a pain in the ass. I believe they've made a friend that they want to tell everybody about, and you just have to be here next week for it.
So I did tell Uncle Jack in Montana, I'm like, we're going to bombard you and we're going to come out and do an episode live in Montana. And he's all like, bring it on.
Bring it. I can't wait to meet Uncle Jack. That's going to be a kick-ass show.
Jack. My God, how do I explain Jack? Jack is like 6'4", looks like ZZ Top on steroids. Never seen the guy not in a pair of overalls, but he will straight gang sign and Compton your ass and call you a white sissy in a heartbeat. He's
our kind of people.
Oh man.
All right.
It's so funny. You know how you meet people, Mike, in your life where you're like, okay, I can't talk to this dude. Jack and I will sit and talk for an hour, and I will think it's been 10 minutes. And I look at my watch, I'm like, holy shit, it's been a fucking hour.
Yeah.
Because there's no judging, there's no predication, there's no perceived notion, there's just two guys, just like you, just two guys chopping it up. Nobody judges the other guy for anything. If you like A and I like B, then fuck it, we talk about both of them. You know what I mean? We agree on something else down the road, but it's just nice to, in today's day and age, to be able to have that kind of conversation with somebody.
Absolutely.
Dude, it is so. You do a political radio show, and God love you for that, because I couldn't do it. It's I don't know, it's tough. In today's day and age, it's just tough.
You got to have some thick skin to do my hour, because I'm definitely pissing people off, but at the same time, making some people, opening their eyes to some things. So local politics here in Amarillo have really been, it's a little nutty, but even national. So that's why we don't talk about it.
No.
I'm telling you, man, politics and religion. If you want to ruin a family dinner,
best way to start a fight.
Yeah, I'm telling you, one of those two right there. All right, little brother.
All right. Well, as always, thank you, Guy, for joining us.
Matt. Thank you to whoever may tune in later. Thank you for putting up with.
We love your consistency, man. If
we
had 500 more like you, we'd be doing a lot better than we are now.
Hey, I've never tried these before. What do these do? What I'm discovering new toys. Let's see. So can you hear that?
I can. Why are you now a year later just figuring this shit out?
Well, because I don't normally play with myself
on air
while we're live.
Wait, Mike, you do this. Watch. You ready? All right, well, Mike obviously wants to be alone.
We can add music too. Oh, hell with that. Next week, we're going to have Clip Clop and Sugar Cube and some kick-ass tunes, baby.
All right, Mike, love you. Thank you. Matt, love you
too.
Miss you. And we'll see you guys next week. If you guys have any ideas for next week, by all means, let us know. If not, if you're watching later on, enjoy the show, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.